talking about pain-free deadlifting, okay? Rule number one is you need more rest than you think, okay? This is almost every time. If you guys think about it, has anyone ever done a lot of deadlifting here? Just quick show of hands. Barbell deadlifting, decent amount. So you guys might have experienced this before, but with deadlifting, it's a little bit different than swings. Swings, you'll feel your heart rate elevate way up, right? And then you'll kind of notice when it comes down, you'll feel like you're ready for a set of swings. Deadlifts don't always work like that. Sometimes your heart rate might be down, but you go to make your next pull and you feel way weaker. Usually, when you feel like you're ready for a deadlift, I want you to take like an additional 60 seconds before you make your next pull. That's always a good rule of thumb. They say, or conventional wisdom is, before a heavy 1 rep max, you need at least a 5-minute rest where you haven't done any deadlift. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes in our groups, we might pace you a little quicker than that, but more rest is better. Setup is going to determine your success. So when we talk about position at the start of the deadlift, that's going to be the thing that determines whether or not it's a successful, safe lift. So today we'll focus a lot on setup. Number 3 is that tightness is what's going to get you to strength. So you guys know how we do like static stomp deadlifting and like partner or planks here where we focus on creating a lot of tightness. That's really, really important when you deadlift. If you're not doing that when you're deadlifting, you're not only leaving strength on the table, but you're setting your spine up for injury risk, all right? So tightness is going to be really, really key. Number 4 is that when we set up, we'll talk about this during our setup, but I want you guys to focus on your body being an uninterrupted change. So everyone really quick, get down into this position and just pretend like you're grabbing onto a bar. You should be able to connect your heels all the way through to your fists and your knuckles in a way where your entire body feels locked in and lined up together. All right, so everyone stand up. We're gonna focus on that with the bar, but we have one chain of muscles. It's not a bunch of separate muscles. So let's just remember that everything needs to be uninterrupted. We're gonna talk a lot about, something we see a lot about is people will set up down here and they'll pull and you'll see their body go like this and then their hips will start to come through. That's like jerking the bar off the ground. We don't wanna do that. The body lives up as one straight unit when we pull. So we're actually gonna focus on squeezing the bar off the ground. And then the last one is deadlifts take a lot of mental preparation. Know that when you deadlift, you're gonna be stressing your central nervous system in a way that the other exercises we do in here don't necessarily do as much, right? That's why we can train 100 swings in a workout or 200 swings in a workout, but we can only train 10 deadlifts in a workout, right? That's the reason why, because our central nervous system is working way, way harder and we're using way heavier weights comparatively speaking, right? If you can swing a 50-pound bell, you might be able to deadlift a 150-pound barbell. So there's a big discrepancy in the amount of load your body is taking. Hi, David. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is I want to take you guys through a couple of deadlift mobility exercises that I feel like really set us up to be in a good position. First off, we want to get our body and our bones set in a good position, and then secondly, we want to start to activate some of the muscles that are going to help us deadlift. So everyone's going to join me here for an all-four belly lift. Let's just kind of spread out in a line here, and you guys can kind of spread out back there. Hey, Tim, how are you, bud? Hey, Tim, do you think I could get you as my demo? Or Carla, maybe I could get you as my demo? So guys, everyone's going to join Carla down here for an all-four belly lift. So let's all go down to hands and knees, just like this. So this first exercise we're going to use to try to inhibit our lower back muscles and activate our side ab muscles, okay? It's going to be a really big deal for getting safe deadlifts. So all four positions, just like Carla's set up here. Knees are right underneath the hips. Hands, wrists are right underneath the shoulders. Now I want you to walk your hands forward just a little bit. So they're a little bit out in front of your shoulders. And I want you to lean your body weight forward so that your hips come a little bit forward to your knees. Not too much forward to your knees, just a little bit. Your nose should be right over your fingertips. Now I want everyone to look at Carla really quick. Carla's gonna try to tuck her hips under like she's doing, and she's just gonna lift this part of her upper back towards the ceiling. I want you to focus on not crunching really hard in your abs, just try to lift your sternum up to the ceiling. Lift your sternum up, find your hamstrings where they connect with your glutes and see if you can get those to tuck your pelvis under. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths here. Start your breath through your nose into your belly and try to fill up your lower back with air. Really lift. Try that again, but I want to show you guys. Right now, we're trying to inhibit these muscles here, right? So as you guys think about tucking your hips under and reaching your sternum back, can you guys see how that changes my spine position from this position, right? I'm going to try and go here. So I want to be reaching and getting my sternum back and tucking my hips under like this. And then I want to send air here to expand these muscles and get them to soften. So when you guys breathe in through your nose, I want you to think about sending the air there and expanding your rib cage. And then as you exhale, just reach deeply into the ground. Reach deeply, keep reaching your sternum up, and keep trying to tuck your pelvis under just a little bit, all right? Let's try that one more time. 5 deep belly breaths in through the nose. flexor stretch, okay? So we want to hit a nice hip flexor stretch before we deadlift, because oftentimes when we sit, does anybody sit for work? Everyone's hands probably should go up, right? Your hip flexors get locked in and get super tight. So to get into this half kneeling position, you can squeeze your glute really tight on this down leg, and to really try to pull up on the front of the pelvis. Let's all get that going. I want you to feel a stretch along your quad, okay? Don't feel like you need to go here in order to get these stretches, right? That actually destabilizes the front of your hip. You don't want to get into these really far extended stretches. Even though you might feel a big stretch, you're actually doing more harm than good. We want to get right into this balanced position. So everyone get here for me and squeeze your butt really tight. If you're able to tuck your toes back there, let's go ahead and tuck the toes. And everybody squeeze here really, really tight. See if you can find your core muscles. And see if you can pull up on the front of your hip to get a big stretch. Does everyone feel that? Okay, get arms up if you feel that. Now let's just try leaning over a little bit. Your same side arm should be up. That should intensify the stretch right along here. So the good news about turning these muscles off and stretching them out is it allows us to turn our glutes on better, right? When we deadlift, we need our glutes. Everyone switch sides. So squeeze your butt. Make sure you feel a stretch on the front of your quad here. Good, and then if you want to intensify this, you make little pulses forward where your whole body pulses forward, right? But you keep your spine nice and neutral instead of thinking about arching your back and leaning forward. And then the other thing, like we did before, was just reach. Think about reaching straight up and over. This should intensify the stretch even higher up into your abdomen and maybe a little lower down your thigh. Take a really deep exhale and see if you can get your lower back flat. Let's bring our other foot up to match the banded leg. So both legs are straight up in the air. And now I want you guys to take a deep exhale and see if you can set your lower back nice and flat to the floor. See if you can feel your ribcage descending down. Now without any movement in your banded leg at all, see if you can drop that other leg straight to the ground and tap your calf to the floor first. And then bring it back up. See if you can go down in a nice straight line where your leg doesn't fall out to the side at all, your foot doesn't have to turn out. If you do this right, you should feel like you can control the leg dropping through your core. If you're using a band right now, use as little band as possible. I don't want you to feel like you're cranking on the band. I want you to feel like your abs are working. There you go, Tina, see if you can really straighten that knee. The goal on both legs is really straight knees, guys. Really lock it in. See if you can flex that foot towards your face.